Okay.
Hi, I'm Nurul. Hi, my name is Dayang Nurmasithah.
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hi, I'm Nina.
Hi, I'm Anis. Hi, I'm Afiqah. So our group, as one of the assessment for literature and young adult, we are delighted to present you our big book.
Yay!
So let's open it. So these are our big book, which use nature and friendship as our main theme. So the purpose of this big book is actually it is to encourage reading process among children, and it is targeted among children that age between 5 to 8 years old, containing 3 poems, 1 short story and 1 fable, which is Be My Friend, The Rainbow, Let's Preserve Our Nature, The Peacock and the Crane, and Octopus in Trouble. We hopefully hope that we could connect the young learners with the nature. And by using the colorful material, we really hope that this will introduce the interest of the young learners to actually read the big book. Thank you.
Alright, now moving on to promoting the book. This book consists of 2 poems, 1 fable and 1 short story, which is Be My Friend, The Rainbow, Let's Preserve Our Nature, The Peacock and the Crane, and Octopus in Trouble. We keep this book children friendly, and we didn't use any violence. We didn't touch on violence and sensitive issues throughout the making of this book. So there are many elements we put when doing this book. As you can see, we use the pop-up, the animals features, the beehive features, so that the children not only read through their eyes, but they also read through their sense of touch. So as you can see, these colorful elements. There are flowers, leaves, a big tree, blue color, which the sky. There's a peacock, a crane with feathers, so that the children can touch it and feel it, the texture of the feather. And this is the short story. There's an octopus here. A sea. This is actually this is a view of a sea, an underwater sea. As you can see, there are fishes and seaweed, and that is all.
Okay, so for the content, we chose this poem because we want the children to actually can focus more on our nature, to instill the value of love in the children, to love our nature more, so they can focus on preserving our nature, love the bees and the rainbow, because they can relate this to the science that they are going to learn in their school. So before we actually choose these poems and the fable and the short story, we actually filtered few other materials before we put it here, because we want the children can easily relate to our materials that we are going to actually relate to our message that we want to convey in this book. And the word choice of this book, we actually chose the really direct, so that the children can understand the message easily. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, moving on to the first poem. So for the demonstration, we are going to demonstrate 2 poems. So the first poem will Be My Friend. So Be My Friend, it's about a kid perhaps at the garden and saw a bee, and then the bee like following him around, and then he thinks that the bee wants to be his friend. So I'm gonna read the poem. A fuzzy bumblebee, he wants to be friends with me. He buzzes and flies around and around, following me without a sound. He does not talk, he does not share. All he does is stare and stare. Fuzzy Buzzy Bumblebee, do you know how to be friends with me? So, this poem uses a very simple words and it's rhyming and it will grab the children's interest to read it. So, that's all for the first poem.
Okay, let's move on to our second poem, which is Let's Preserve Our Nature. As our theme is nature, so we choose this poem in order to educate these children to save the earth. As we know, there are more and more pollution coming. So let's read the poem. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, the birds are flying, and the breeze is so cool. Mother Nature is trying her best to give nothing but beautifulness. But what do? Make her mess? Let's make her the best by polluting less and less, and preserve the green grass for our kids and the rest. As we all know, there is more and more pollution right now, so this poem is basically to educate our children to save the earth, because we want our children to know what animal that endangered right now and the trees. That's why we provide the visual here, which is the green tree, where green is very important in our life, where it's provide oxygen. Without the tree, we cannot even alive. So I think this is very good poem that suit our theme and our objective, which is to educate and nature. So that's all.
Oh, now we're doing issues, okay. So one of the issues, there are multiple issues while we were compiling and creating this big book project, and it can be separated into two sections, which is the medium that we used and also the material. So for example, we have here used gouache color, and because of the board, it does not really adhere to the board very nicely. So that is one of the issues. We had to do multiple layers in order to get the color and get the opaqueness that we wanted to achieve for this big book, because we need it to be very colorful and it has to attract the interest from the children. Another thing that we used is crayon. So for this fable, we mostly used crayon as the background, and we all know that crayon can get very messy. So this took about 3 days to complete, and even creating this wonderful, beautiful peacock took very, very long. So I guess one of the issues as well can be it is very time consuming on our end, because creating such a big, humongous and colorful book does take time and it does take a lot of effort. So that is actually our third issue, time consumption. But coming back to the crayons that we used, the problem with crayons is we can't go over it with marker and we can't go over it with paint, because then it will just smudge and it won't look very nice. So what we had to do is we had to think about how were we going to create the text. So what we did was we had to print it out on paper and then we just pasted it onto the background. So that's why, as you can see here, although crayon does give a very nice effect, it did cause us a lot of issues. But so far, I guess we managed to do our best, and this turned out very, very nicely. Another issue with the crayon, if you can see, is that it does leave marks. It does leave the marks, especially because the outline of this is with crayon. When you close the book and when you open it back, it does leave a stain, and it is quite difficult to remove. So therefore, crayons is not a really good medium to use. So I think that's all. Okay, so overall, those were just the three main issues that we had in compiling and creating this book. happy with the result.
Yeah.
And I hope children enjoy reading this. I hope it attracts the children. And that's all from us.
As a conclusion, since we are very happy with this book, I'm going to show you a brief for each section that we have in this book. So we start with the cover page. We have our names on it. Then here's the content, and here's the introduction where Ika just now talked about it. And then this is the first poem, Be My Friend. And then we can go through the second poem, The Rainbow. And then there's the third poem, Let's Preserve Our Nature. And then this is the fable, The Crane and the Peacock. And then finally is the short story, An Octopus in Trouble, which consists of around 5 pages long, and it's in a simple form so that the children don't have to read paragraphs. So that's all from us. Thank you.